What's up guys, Anders here with another BDO patch notes video. Lots to get through, but before we do that, I want to thank the supporters of this channel. You guys help keep these videos going, so thank you so much for the support. As for the patch notes, we're going to go over the global patch notes as well as the Korean patch notes and finally end on the test server patch notes. So this week we received the new cron meal update, which combines the effects of energized and simple cron meals. There will be no longer an energized cron meal available to you, but it's just one simple cron meal with all of the effects, since energized was the least used cron meal out of the set. It makes sense to combine the already similar bonuses you get, so it's a good change in my opinion. If you had an energized cron meal in your storage or in your inventory, they have automatically been updated to the new simple cron meal. The big balance changes also finally made their way out into global live servers. So in general, when looking at these tables, you want to think about class PvP matchups. PvE for all classes has not been changed, so if you're more of a PvE player, you really have nothing to worry about. Nothing has changed for you. They also added a couple of changes to some 100% ults. We should be seeing the rest of the changes to BSR skills next week. If you're wondering whether or not your class has been nerfed or buffed in PvP, it honestly is going to be dependent on how much PvP you do. So some people are liking the changes. They seem to be players who primarily do T1 node wars, which are gear capped. Others are not too happy with them in more real world scenarios. From experience, I'm noticing ninjas deal a lot more damage. Guardian's 100% BSR skill, which was nerfed in this patch, is also pretty much dead. So there's that. And Red Battlefield is primarily wizards, guardians, and ninjas in general. So everything is just dying a lot faster. They seem to be aware of this though, which is why they've made some changes to Red Battlefield on test server, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. You can now rent TET level gear or near TET level gear from the King of Valencia NPC for 50 CP each. These are good temp weapons if you're progressing early on and have some CP, though with these rental weapons, I suggest you don't look at your CP as a way for you to rent equipment long term, since CP is valuable for passive income, whether it is through worker nodes or farming fences. They've also added additional quests that automatically get started as you obtain dark energy items from these zones. They reward you with an item called Conqueror's Might, which is a 30-minute buff that will give you 300% combat XP and 100% additional skill XP for the duration of the buff. Just another way to help you level your characters and get some skill points faster. The Hunter Seal event, which I'm pretty sure no one did, is now a permanent feature in the game. You can now talk to Delucci and hand in Hunter Seals for hard and sharp crystals. Don't do this. The rates are too bad for them to be useful right now. They are in the game in the scenario where you need a lot of sharps and hards and have absolutely no way of getting them quickly or even through the market. In terms of events, we do have the Tapu's Golden Travel. It's going to last 2 weeks and reward you with up to 3 silver coins through daily quests, plus 1 silver coin through the challenge tab for playing 1 hour a day. So it's going to be 4 silver coins a day. The gold coins you need for one of the dailies can be dropped by simply grinding. Make sure to grind high density areas like Nagas or Polyforest if you're limited on time, since they drop more often. You can exchange silver coins for Kafras, a 50 fell stacks, crons, and those gambling boxes. Honestly, best value is going to be the Kafras or the 50 fail stacks if you do a lot of enhancing. We also have the Hot and Cool event, which is a combat and skill XP buff for Season and Olvia servers. You also get the item drop rate buffs on hard and sharps through gathering on these servers. So if you can power level your Season character and gather on them as well for some added income per hour if you wish. We're also getting some droughts and XP scrolls and loot scrolls every day for the next 2 weeks, which is very nice. Now, as for Korea, most of these changes we're going to see in the next week, except maybe the big one, which is Hashashin pre-creation. As usual, if you pre-create Hashashin, you will receive some rewards when he launches. He is launching with the summer season server in Korea, which is pretty smart when you think about it. And we now have the skill icons for Hashashin. He's releasing in pre-awakened form, so that means no awakening and no succession yet. His lore snippet seems to call out the name Kayal Nesser, which if you've done the Negative Karma storyline, you'll know is the twin brother of the Princess Saya of Valencia, and who was locked up in Pilaku by the King of Valencia. The snippet makes it seem like this is the character that you're going to play as, but it's not really that clear. Console players will be able to create Hashashin next week and more likely see the launch of the class the following week, though I know some updates on consoles need to be certified, so it may not be as immediate as on the Korean PC launch. Regardless, the rest of us will have to wait at least a few more weeks to start the pre-creation for Hashashin. Apart from the new class, Korea received their new loyalty store. If you were not aware, Korea lost their loyalty shop quite a while back, maybe 6 months ago, to make room for a revamped system. Their loyalty is called mileage, but it's basically the same thing. Most of these look really good. You can get fail stacks and Kaposha items, but obviously they have high cost. I don't think we'll see something like this come over to other regions, at least on NA and EU, until maybe Perlabiz decides to take over publishing rights. Remember, the game is free to play in Korea, and as far as I can remember, they can receive mileage from purchases you make in the cash shop. So keep that in mind when comparing the stores to our own. The 3 new male hairstyles were also added in Korea. The Colossus ring was also updated to include the market tax reduction effect. No one has this item, so it's going to be interesting to see if someone can actually complete it now. The skill window has been updated where you can save 2 presets of skills. You get the preset slots by completing your Awakening questline. If you've already done the questline, you can auto-complete a quest through your Black Spirit. And they've also addressed my main issue with the new skill window, which is it's full screen and you can't see anything in game. So now you can actually hide the preview portion of the skill so it doesn't take up the entirety of your game screen. The 100 and 200% BSR skills have been buffed and nerfed in Korea as well. So Tamer's 100% has been reduced by 21%, which is pretty devastating to be honest. And Wizard pre-awakened 200% has been reduced by 32%, which is warranted. Guardian Succession's 200%, which no one used, but was secretly actually pretty good, has also been nerfed by about 21% as well. Crafted outfits like Ahon Kiris have increased in market price, so if you're crafting these, they're going to sell for a little bit more now. Crow Island Hell Arena received a new boss, and that is something we're not going to be seeing for a while. And Pateran weekly boss quests from the Black Spirit can now give you knowledge and be auto-completed after the first time you complete the quest, which is very nice. The Ebenruth Knoll now increases your speed by 50% on the second breezy sail. And Mystic received a new Pearl Shop outfit, which looks really nice if I'm honest. The outfit and most of these changes we should be getting in other regions next week. Now, as for test server, remember, most of these changes on test server, we're probably going to see in about 2 weeks for us in global regions. Korea usually gets it next week. So no Hashashin related content, unfortunately, but we do have the 3 new female hairstyles. They look okay. And the red battlefield, like I mentioned earlier, now has flex damage reduction linked to your damage received and health pool. What does that mean? Well, if you get ulted, you take the full damage up to half of your HP. After that, every bracket of damage has reduced effects. So simply put, it makes it very, very difficult to one-shot people in RBF. If you CC someone and you start comboing them, you will still be able to deal almost normal damage. But if you have skills that hit hard, like say Maewa's Blooming, Ninja's Serpent Ascension, Guardian's God Incinerator, all of these skills won't be able to output their entire damage. Classes that don't deal hard-hitting skills, but rather have more skills in their combo, like say, I don't know, Mystic Succession, for example, they won't notice much of a difference. It's a way to prevent one-shot abilities in Red Battlefield despite having just pushed an update where everyone takes more damage, and some classes deal even more damage. Now, what's weird is that there is no developer note for this change. We actually don't know what they're thinking behind this change. It's going to lead to a lot of people who are inclined to defend the game or the developer's actions as a, well, here, look, they have a plan, right? This is going to come to general PvP. This was the plan all along. They're going to use RBF as a sort of experimental ground before pushing it to the rest of the game. All that stuff. I've actually seen this already before this patch even hit. That would frankly be a little insane because that's just not how you make people want to stick around playing your game. You don't experiment on live servers. You have a test server for a reason, right? I personally think it is an experiment, but much like the experiment we saw with Arsha servers, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, with the CC changes, that was eventually reverted, and if this doesn't go the way they want, it's probably going to be reverted as well. All we can do is just wait and see. They also changed the level requirement for some of the adventure journals. You're going to need level 60 to have access to all of them. Valencia Part 1 and 2 now give more combat XP up into level 59. So it's going to make the main story the easiest way for new players to reach level 59 without grinding or side questing too much. The fail stack save slot system they added on Global Labs last week has been improved to show you the percentage chance you will have if you swap into the selected stack. So if you have a 50 stack and a 100 stack in your save slots and you're trying to enhance, say, pen, you can see 1% for the 50 stack or something like that, and then 3% or so for the 100 stack. It takes into account even your Valk's Cry and everything. It's really nice. It's a nice addition to this fail stack system that hopefully will go live next week for Korea and then the following week for us. And that's pretty much it for this patch notes, guys. Let me know what you thought about this week's balance patch and what you think about the RBF changes on test server. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.